This is The Sit Down, and I'm here with actor David Oyelowo, the star of Les Misérables on Masterpiece. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well.
So you had a birthday last week.
I did.
Happy belated.
Thank you.
What did you do to celebrate?
I was actually shooting in London, so I was on set all day. So I was working, but you know, it's what I love to do, so it wasn't a bad way to spend the day.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for the Les Mis miniseries, you're playing Inspector Javert.
That's right. well pronounced.
Thank you. I took Spanish in high school, so
you took Spanish, rusty, but you're great with your French.
So my French is rusty.
Okay.
But do you feel like because it's a miniseries, we're going to get a deeper look into his character than we usually do in the play and the movie?
That was exactly why I wanted to do it. When I heard that the BBC and PBS were looking to do Les Misérables, I, of course, thought about the film that had happened recently and thought, well, why do we need another one so soon? But when I read these 6 scripts, which are adapted from the 1,500-page novel by Victor Hugo, it became evident that we're going to get a lot more context, a lot more dimension, a lot more insight into these characters that we know and love from the musical.
Nice. And the set and the costume just look spot on. Did you feel like you were transformed back to the 1800s?
Well, that's what was really amazing. One of the amazing things of doing the show, if you read the book, it's an epic setting, but to actually be in Belgium and northern France where we shot it and feel like you've basically gone back in a time machine back to those places. You didn't really need to imagine what it was like because the environment you were in was very evocative of what Hugo had written about in his book.
Nice. And you've done a few period pieces at this point. Do you have a favorite era that you enjoyed being a part of? This
is pretty great. I mean, you know, getting to ride horses and wear these long coats and these great hats I've enjoyed this a lot. I've done more of the kind of civil rights era. Those are pretty good for the hats and the coats as well. But this was pretty great.
Yeah, and we do a little social media stalking here on AM to DM. So we saw that you posted this cute video of your daughter playing with makeup on set.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Do you think your kids, you know, do you think they are interested in following in your footsteps at all? Are they showing any signs of that?
Yeah, they are. My eldest son, Asher, wants to be a film composer. And my second son, Caleb, wants to be an actor. So Zoe, who was doing my makeup, that was on the set of Les Misérables when we were shooting it. I don't know if she's going to become a makeup artist. She's only 7 now, so she's still figuring it out. And my other son, Peniel, similarly, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you guys might become like a family legacy here in Hollywood.
We'll be the new Baldwins.
I love it. So you were also making your directorial debut.
That's right.
With a film called The Waterman.
That's right.
What about the movie script made you want to get behind the camera?
Well, I grew up on films like E.T. and Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Labyrinth and, you know, these sort of Amblin-type movies that Steven Spielberg especially is so brilliant at doing. And, you know, I found this script called The Waterman. It was on the blacklist, and it was very evocative of that. It's about an 11-year-old boy seeking this mythical figure in a forest who he hopes is going to help his mum heal from her illness. And it's kind of an adventure movie. And so, you know, it felt like the one to sort of get behind and be my directorial debut. Nice.
And Oprah executive produced this, right? So was it like a family reunion kind of with the two of you working together again?
It is. That's a very good way of putting it, actually. We met playing family in The Butler. She played my mother in that film, and we became very close, and then even more so on Selma, which we also did together. And we just see the world in a very similar way. So, you know, I try to support her in any way I can, which is minimal. And she does the same for me, which is a lot.
Yeah, and it was, I mean, I loved seeing her in front of the camera in The Butler again, and you guys having that dynamic. Is it different having the partnership behind the camera than it is in front with actors that you have done both with?
Yeah, I'm much happier with my interaction with her behind the camera, because I don't know if you saw The Butler, but there's a moment where she slaps me.
Yes.
And, you know, it's a movie. Like, we have to do multiple takes. She went to slap me.
Oh, like she was really slapping you.
She was like, so where do you want me to slap you? It's like,
so we're not going to act this
that
out?
we are not, literally. And with every take, she got closer and closer. And on the very last one, she grazed my nose. I was like, I think we got it, guys. I think we're good. So, yeah, I feel much safer with her behind the camera.
I mean, getting slapped by Oprah is a thing to have on your IMDb page.
you can have that. I'll give that to you.
Okay, so speaking of all these roles that you've been taking on, one of the rumors we've been hearing is people wanting you to be the next James Bond.
Oh, really?
Yes. Do you want to officially put yourself in the running? Is that a role that you would like to play?
No. I don't want to officially put myself in the running.
Okay.
I'm just really glad that people keep talking about it. I think it shows how far we've come that, names like mine and Idris Elba's keep on coming up for this kind of role. So, but no, I'm not about to run in the direction of being shaken and not stirred.
Oh, I like that.
See, I've got myself in trouble now.
You're winning.
I've said the line. That's all everyone's going to talk about.
That's what we want. So if not you, who would you like to see be the next James Bond?
Oh, gosh. I don't know. Well, Idris decided he's too old for it now.
Is that what he said?
I think so. I think he said he's a bit long in the tooth.
Okay.
I don't know. Who do you
Long
think?
in the tooth.
Long in the tooth. That's a British expression. You guys don't have that?
No.
Okay.
I like it, though.
Okay.
Long in the tooth.
When you get older, your gums recede?
Yes.
Yeah, long in the tooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, no. Idris, your gums are not receding. This is going really well.
It is. But okay, I don't know. I was still rooting for Idris. I didn't know he took himself out. So
I think he did.
Okay.
So I hear.
But I think with, like you said, that adding to the conversation and you getting behind the lens and also having all of these, I love that you're playing a character that's not traditionally played by a black man in Les Mis.
Right.
Do you think that Hollywood is becoming better with diversifying the roles? Since you started?
To be honest, I just think that there are people like myself, like the BBC, like the director Tom Shankland, who directed Les Mis, who are just going ahead and doing it, and not asking for permission, and actually just telling the truth about history. People who are students of history will know that people of color have been in Europe for centuries and not just in subjugated situations. Thomas Alexander Dumas, who was the father of Alexander Dumas, who wrote The Count of Monte Cristo, he was actually a black general in the French army in the late 1700s. So it's by no means out of the realms of possibility that someone like me could be Javert at that time in history.
I agree, and I'm excited for us all to get to see it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on today.
Pleasure.
Les Mis premieres this Sunday, April 14th at 9 p.m. on Masterpiece on PBS.